core activity of the first weekend is the parade through the town. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be sending out a brochure to just let everybody in the town know what is going to happen. There'll be Gary spoke, most of you were here for the last time when Gary spoke about it. There'll be a road closure through Bridge Street, phased through. Anybody and everybody who lives here or works here will be able to go in and out at any time, but we'll be restricting visitors to the rec ground to park over there from quite early on the morning of 10 December. So the logistics around that are complex, and we've got to get all sorts of approvals, as you might imagine, from the Council Emergency Services and so forth, to make sure that is as we need it to be, or as they need it to be. As Gary's previously told you, the parade itself will be divided into decades, so that is 20 decades from the 1820s, with an appropriate recognition of the people before British settlement, and that will largely be featured through collectively an act of walking over the bridge, walking across the river as a respectful recognition of the thousands of people who crossed that same river for millennia before the British. In terms of the parade after that, the school children, both schools under the tutelage of Ros Hay and Jan Ross, have made banners that will denote the decades. Community groups will be appearing, and sporting clubs and so forth, in the decade of their origin. 1868, Gary, is it for the cricket club? 1868 was a football club, I think, and 40s for the cricket club. Red Cross and so forth. So that'll be fun for us all to recognise the heritage of things that we take for granted in the town. And that'll go through tennis club, garden club, and so forth, schools. It'll be pretty terrific. Vehicles, passenger, work and Shanks's will be featuring throughout the decades as well. I jumped on a poor man in a Triumph and a TR4 that was parked outside the post office today. I think, right, we can get one of them in for the 60s. Unfortunately, he lives in Hobart and not really prepared to be with us for this, but any of you who know people who have cars that are notable, or farm vehicles that are notable, please encourage them to talk with us. I'm going to name him up. Noel and Andrew Bevan are working with us to ensure that there's agricultural credibility to the parade, and they've got a raft of things, or a ute of things, that we're going to be including in the parade with their support. So it's very much a community event and will be quite wonderful. It starts at 10 a.m, walking through until formalities on the other side of the bridge below St John's School on the riverbank. The formalities will be between 11:30 and 12. It'll only be foot traffic across the bridge. The farm work vehicles, anything with animals, will head down Gunning Street to the rec ground, and passenger vehicles will be taken off to the right onto the village green as they come to that point. I'm going to channel you, Ingrid. I know you've been hanging off every word I've said. Have I missed anything significant? Thank you. That we have, with the support of Arts Tasmania, funding for a music concert on Saturday night, the 9th of December. Louise Denson, who lives in the Valleys, composed a jazz sense piece for the bridge, Sounding the Bridge. And Milaka Mathina was a piece commissioned by the Clarence Council for the Jazz Festival this year that looks that music and a narration about the Mamarimana people from the perspective of Kangaroo Bay, but of course this was also Mamarimana country, and therefore giving that a second outing here would be highly appropriate. That concert will be, I think, in the primary school hall, and will be quite wonderful. I encourage everybody to get tickets to that when the opportunity comes. There'll be it's a two or three part program, pretty wonderful. There'll be exhibitions. There'll be an exhibition of bridge-related art owned by members of the community in the supper room, and we'll have an exhibition of portraits of Aboriginal people connected to this area in the courthouse. I think that is the full program for that first weekend. Thank you, I've got thumbs up from Ingrid. I'll get off other than to say, watch out for the flyer that'll come in the mail in the next couple of weeks. Thank you very much.